Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Xite Gaming Minisode. I feel like this is the right time to insert like a little mini. It's the Xite Gaming Minisode.
There we go.
We don't have one of those.
There we go. We do now.
I just made one. Okay, that's it now. I am joined by James D. Daddy and James F. Sinker as we discuss: do video games make good films, and do films make good video games?
Well, Chris, that's a very interesting question. I'm glad you brought it up
Thank you.
because I've given this a great deal of thought,
Okay.
and I think that yes to both
Yes to both. There
and
we go.
no to both.
And that wraps up the Minisode. No, so basically just our thoughts and opinions. This short brief little conundrum of words that are spewing out of my mouth.
Sometimes that's what it feels like.
Sometimes I have, what do you call that? Like literacy diarrhea or something?
Verbal diarrhea?
Verbal diarrhea.
Literacy diarrhea. But it is more like literacy diarrhea because the words you come out with are so like, they're so random and
they're
not
so
commonly used.
retrospective.
There was one you said the other week and I thought it was very, very funny. It was like, we like to bring you the best audio and video manship. I was like, what? The best video manship.
But you knew what I meant.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah,
exactly. So, without... We're
Well,
going to try not to ramble too much because we kind of want to hit our topic, but
the idea is to
very
keep
hard
these
to do.
things concise and whatnot.
It's very hard to keep things concise. So basically, we'll start with the first point. Do video games make good films?
All right.
So can we think of examples, pretty much, of a video game that then became a film
that was actually not bad.
that was actually okay? Because realistically, in this day and age, like you know yourself, every single movie that we get that is based on a video game, it's worldwide.
Awful.
It's renowned as being terrible.
They're always useless.
We've just learned not to hold our breath anymore for these things.
I
think what was the most
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed was probably the most recent one. Yeah. And now we have seen the trailer for the most recent Tomb Raider.
Yeah, which doesn't look
coming out, and even at that, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not standing out to be something. But can we think of anything?
Ratchet.
I haven't seen the Ratchet and Clank film.
Yeah, neither have I. But didn't you say it's pretty much the game?
It's pretty much just a game. Yeah, it's just the cutscenes all kind of like shoved together with a little bit of extra shit. But like that was it. That's the only reason it was good.
Maybe.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, there was nothing that really screamed out to me at the time that I wanted to see it. That was purely because I hadn't played Ratchet yet. Now I'd love to see it, and I can't find it fucking anywhere to buy.
Nah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
Right enough, because even when it was out in cinemas, I never heard much about it.
No.
Very little fanfare.
I was the fanfare.
That's an example.
You were the one.
That's an example, but at the same time, that is an animated movie.
Yeah,
I think majority of the time
That's a good point, actually.
these things come along, and we have like real life actors.
That's it. Actually, yeah, that's true. And you wonder why, because like some games would definitely be more suitable for like CGI or like
Is
animated.
it just that these actors just aren't portraying our characters
No.
like to the best?
I think the actors are well capable of doing it, but they're not being given a good enough script or story.
So realistically, it all boils down. We can't probably say it boils down to one thing in general, but script.
Yeah, script I think has never gotten right. Because they're trying to make it like, I mean, it's a game which is completely different from a film. Like, so like you kind of have to take the best parts of the game and kind of capture the feel of the game and put it in a script. So it's hard to do. I understand that. Like, and
it always kind of
very
feels like whenever they do a video game movie, like you said there, it's like they take all the boring parts of the game and just make that the film. It's like, show me the good parts.
Yeah,
you know?
like more excitement, more
yeah.
I mean,
action.
sometimes, but then you also get some of these films that just like have literally nothing to do with the game. Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And just say, hey, Resident Evil is popular. Let's throw Resident Evil on the title, and it'll have jack shit to do with the actual. Well, hey, we're gonna have this girl. What the hell's her name?
Alice.
Yeah, we're gonna throw Alice in there because
Right
she's
enough,
in every game, isn't she? Oh no, she's not mentioned.
They mentioned Umbrella in it, but like there was never really like a strong emphasis put behind why these kind of things were going on, like who Alice was even.
Well, the Resident Evil films annoyed the life out of me because instead of it being like we're going to base the game or we're going to base the movies on the game, what they instead did is that they made main characters be like cameo appearances, if that makes any sense. Whereas like instead of it being like we're going to have the main character from the game be the main character of the film, they're like, no, we're going to have the main characters of the game be side
That's
characters.
right. Isn't it like the third film or something? You get like Jill Valentine.
Yeah.
Like just briefly.
Jill
like,
Valentine's in it for
through.
a few minutes, like
a huge character in the Resident Evil franchise.
But
And Wesker is not even Wesker in it.
That's right, and Chris Redfield, who's actually played by Wentworth Miller in Resident Evil Afterlife.
Oh, right.
An absolutely appalling decision to cast him as Chris Redfield.
Right enough, yeah. I don't
Chris
see him.
Redfield is a huge guy.
Yeah.
You know, a big Stars member, and then
Is he Chris Redfield in the film, or is he just like implied to be?
He's Chris Redfield in the movie.
He actually is.
He's called Chris Redfield, brother of
Claire.
I was going to say,
who was also in the film for like 5 minutes.
Exactly, yeah.
I understand that. I could see them like doing that for some films, but like as you says there, like, you know, them characters came in for like 5 minutes and they were nothing like the game characters. I can see that them being like sort of not the main characters in a film, because like it'd be just hard to like, without just copying the game itself, as Ratchet & Clank sort of did. You know, it would be hard to take them characters, put them in a new situation. So maybe use them as side characters and give like a different character the main focus of it. I can see that being done, but like,
I could have seen that being done if they would have went about it a slightly different way. Whereas instead of like with Resident Evil, they're going to be like, you know, it's the exact same universe with the exact same story going on, but we're from Alice's point of view. So like obviously the games are from like Claire, Chris, Jill, Leon's point of view. If you just have Alice, who's just kind of like there and being like, how is she dealing with the exact same situation while all this is going on? My issue with the films is that the films literally throw the fucking story out the window. And just make like Jill this hopeless bitch who has no idea what's going on. They throw the Nemesis in there.
That's right.
Which makes in the film makes literally no fucking sense.
He appears at like the end of like the second film, doesn't he?
Exactly.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah. Because he's the guy from the first film who like gets taken away.
Yeah. Which what fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
who is he any character in the game? That guy from the first film?
No. See, the point is like, they had all the pieces. That's the thing. Like, they have all the pieces. The reason why I enjoy, and I know that we're using Resident Evil as an example here because there's so many of those games and films. But like, they take all the pieces that I actually enjoy from the games. So like, they take the laser room, for example, which is an incredible piece in the actual film as well. Like, everybody remembers the laser room. They take like the liquors at the end of the first one, like that. They take Nemesis. Obviously, more could have been done with Nemesis.
Yes,
and like. They include that, but they just don't, like, had that been, say, Leon or Chris, a well casted Leon or Chris or Jill or anybody in the laser room, that could have been gold dust.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like.
But no, Alice wasn't even in the fucking laser room. We had just had like
B characters.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure. No, because no one makes out of that room, I don't think.
No.
Remember one guy gets really, really, really close and you're like, I'm it. Oh, no,
that's
I didn't.
Right, yeah.
It's just like two like lasers coming and it turned into like 50.
That's right, yeah. Max Payne's another movie.
But yeah, it didn't follow very closely either. It sort of tore away from what made the Max Payne games good. Like, it's
worrying in a way because there are so many like amazing concepts in games that, like, obviously they've been done spectacularly in games.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my god, if that was a movie, that would be like incredible.
Yeah. Do you know what I didn't get actually? And Max Payne is a good example. So Max Payne has these, like, you know, like them kill them. What's it called?
Oh, like the brutal kills?
Yeah, it's like where you can like activate a mode where you can like dive to the earth.
Bullet time,
yeah, which is really, really cinematic. Yet the film didn't really live up to that at all. Like, it was built around looking cinematic, and they couldn't recapture that in the film. Like, I was just like,
is that Mark?
That's Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple. Like, there's just so many examples of bad films based on video games. Like,
yeah.
There's just too many. Like.
And then Assassin's Creed was literally just okay.
Just
and a lot of people didn't even think it was okay.
Yeah, I heard it had too much of the animus and not enough of the actual, like, you know, Spanish Renaissance or whatever.
Yeah, the actual interesting parts of the game.
See, and that would have annoyed me, but the thing that annoyed me the most about that is that the Spanish era was awesome. The action bits, all of that was really, really cool. But it was all in Spanish.
Yeah, okay.
Which really annoyed me
they
because,
were
like,
in Spain.
But I mean, like, in the game, the Animus has a translator.
Yeah,
that's how they go about
true,
all this. Is that, like, it's all translated?
It's already there for them, like, to use.
It's already there. Like, it's already.
Why make this more complicated?
So why put half the film in subtitles?
Yeah,
and then the bit that was in English was relatively boring.
How is actually, like, Fassbender as the actual? Who does he? Is it?
It's just some guy.
Caleb something or other.
So how is he actually as?
I thought he was alright.
Yeah, so it's not actually an issue with the actual casting. Again, it just boils down to the script and how it's actually, like, is it even the pacing? It's not even the pacing.
No, it's just the way it's put together. Like, the story itself mightn't be good enough, or maybe the things, you know, like the story might be okay, but yeah, as you say, the pacing and getting to that point, getting to the conclusion of the story might just be done right. Like there's so many things that can be wrong with a script where you can't really say like that's the problem. Yeah. Just like when put together, the whole thing just doesn't live up to what it should.
Like I'm extremely worried about this next Tomb Raider movie because of, like pretty much because of what we've seen so far.
Yeah, the trailer was just bad.
Expansion, suspension for the movie, because I actually enjoy the first two Tomb Raider movies.
That's actually, I was going to say, an example of a fairly good video game movie is the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
Particularly the first one, I think.
Yeah, first one, yeah.
I know you prefer the second one.
I prefer the second one just because of where it's set, but the first one is probably just a better overall movie.
They're pretty good. Like, they're just fun films, like, and that's just it.
Yeah. Fun movies that follow the same kind of storyline and, you know...
Yeah. And like, I mean,
lore,
that's it. Angelina Jolie made a good Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Not a particularly, like, true one.
Just I think true to her style and looks is, you know, probably like most of the reason why she probably got that part, because she looked the most like she was Lara Croft, born to play that role. But now seeing like Alicia Vikander come in,
see, she is very close to the rebranded
Lara, which is what I'm excited about. But like, if it's all going to be like what we see in the trailer
was just awful.
Yeah,
like I just think, and even the promotional, what do you call that? The poster for it was just so badly done, like badly edited, badly photoshopped. Like I just think the marketing team screwed the pooch. Like I think the film might still be okay, and I'm hoping it'll still be okay because it's based on that first rebooted game, which was again a very cinematic game, which like shouldn't be tough to translate over to film. Like,
my issue with a lot of these films though is that like there's a few issues I've got. And one is like you look at the source material. And what you're looking to do is essentially cram a game that, like, well, a normal game is at least 6 hours long. Yeah. So realistically, you're looking to cram 6 hours worth of story into, like, at least, like, an hour and a half, 2 hours worth. Like, I get that, like, that is a struggle. But the problem I've got with a lot of these films is that it's, like, the directors of the films have like, a relative, like, idea of what the story is about, what the games are about. And to me, the thing that annoys the life out of me is that they just don't seem to care enough. They have a basic idea of what it is, and then they're just like, fuck it, we're going to roll with it. And it's like, but to me, you've completely missed the point.
Yeah, like if you're going to make this movie, like follow it as true as you bloody can to the actual
game.
Exactly, where it's like, it seems like someone from just like read the back of the box art. And just like, Max Payne's about this, like, yeah, fuck it, got it.
Do you know what? That's actually a very good point. I bet you what they're doing is they're looking at like, okay, this is what the game is about, and then they see, right, so like Resident Evil, this game is about it's about zombies, and it's about a plague that's going to destroy the world.
Oh my god, there's a laser room.
But they read all that shit, right? And they read like, the synopsis of the game, and they go like, okay, and then they have ideas about films that are about things like zombies and end of the world and lasers and shit, and then they apply those ideas to it and make their own film. But without actually, as you say, playing the game and understand the game isn't really about that. It's about like horror, it's about proper,
suspense. It's about feeling for these characters and things.
Exactly.
But you see, just to pick up on what you said there as well, like a game is like X, Y, and Z. It has all this in it, and they have to cram that into 2 hours. That's only if they want to actually replicate the actual
storyline of the game.
True.
Whereas, I mean, if you're going ahead like the likes of Assassin's Creed, where you're not taking one game to like, to take you. It's not like they're taking Assassin's Creed 1 and going, we're recreating this scene for scene. We're just taking the Assassin's Creed brand and we can do whatever the hell we want with it. So there's no reason for that film to be boring.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
All that takes is one good story inside that universe.
Exactly. I think fans would have been a hell of a lot happier to see like a good 90 to 95% of that taking place in the actual Spanish era in Spain and wherever the hell it was set, and the other 10% in the Animus. I know they had a lot of explaining to do, but there's other ways and means.
There is. I mean, in the games, all the shit is explained to you when you're walking about in the Animus.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like they explain all that shit. They're talking through you through the whatever mics or whatever.
And like at the end of the day, like know your target audience. Your target audience are more than likely the people who play the games anyway. So chances are they're going to pick up on what the hell's going on.
See, that's what I don't understand. Is that is exactly it. The target audience are the ones who are the fans again. I guarantee you, when I went to go see Ratchet & Clank at cinema, no one there, bar like me and Sarah, had any fucking clue who Ratchet and Clank were. They just wanted to go see the robot and the fox.
Yeah, you see that's it, like a lot of young children, especially. Like it's a bright colored animated movie. Yeah, that's fair enough. Children might enjoy that there, but like if you're kind of like our age and you're going to see Ratchet and Clank and you don't have a clue who Ratchet and Clank is, like don't come out of the movie and kind of crap all over it, because unless you kind of know who the characters are.
This is the thing as well, though. these people making these films that's in the back of their head. They're going like, all right, we need to make a film that is true to what the fans of the game want, but at the same time, this film needs to make money, or else I'm at it. Like, people aren't going to look well, and it's not going to look well on me. So they're kind of going, right, we need to make Ratchet and Clank a good film about the game, but it also needs to appeal to kids. People making Assassin's Creed are going, right, we need to make a film that appeals to the players of that game, and also can be like any Joe Blog can walk in and go, Assassin's Creed, I'll have a look.
But I feel like that would work. That's what I feel like. Assassin's Creed was so close.
It was, it was like the perfect.
Like we said, we used to work in the cinema. The amount of people I had coming in who were just like, I have never played Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
I have no idea what the fuck this is about, but it looks like a cool action film. I'm like, yeah, go check.
Exactly,
it out. It was one of those. It was so close to hitting that mark, but it was just boring. There wasn't enough action in it, and then the nerdy gamey shit.
Yeah,
who were fans of the game were just like, this is fucking boring as well, because you're over explaining this shit. The ones who didn't know the game were kind of like, this is boring as fuck, I don't care. And the ones who did know it were just kind of like, fucking stab someone.
Like, we know this shit. Like,
take out your hidden blade and do something with it.
That's it. Like, and you know what? It could have all been said. You could have you didn't even need to mention the animus in those games.
You know what was another?
Until like the last 10 minutes and go, oh, the whole thing's actually in a
Star Wars.
Whole thing was a dream.
It was a dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, we watched Blade Runner on the weekend.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was unusual, but it had like the first like full PM was like the first full frame was just text explaining
4 or 5
the situation.
paragraphs explaining the situation, and within 30 seconds,
Yeah.
full understanding of the movie was there. I knew.
It's very complicated.
I didn't rewatch Blade Runner until like I watched it like years and years ago at school. Didn't love the movie, but after a minute of that movie, I was right back, caught up to speed, knew what was going on. Perfect, let's go.
You knew enough so you could watch that film.
Exactly. Just to pick up again on what you said there, another film that was like that a lot of people seen and were like, I'm just coming because the way the film is Warcraft.
Yes,
that was another like Warcraft, one of the biggest, most well received gaming franchises like ever. And then they made this movie. Now, granted, the movie didn't do exceptionally well. It wasn't that well received, but they kind of did come out and just say, "Look, this is the first step. We're just kind of introducing our characters. It's all going to kind of take off in the second." But the amount of people that kind of came in to see that movie just based on how the film looked, a lot of people thought it was very. The thing I kept getting was, it's very like Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like, no, it's not. But I understand where you're coming from. Another massive movie that kind of just swing and a miss. But like they say, they're waiting for the second. That was like the introduction of characters.
Hopefully, they're a bit more settled in the second one.
Interesting to see where it's going to go. Again, I haven't actually seen that movie myself.
No, it's on my list of stuff I need to watch.
Yeah, things to see. But see, for every film like that, like Assassin's Creed and Warcraft, that were kind of like nearly there, there's like 10 more that just weren't even remotely close.
No.
I mean, there have been some absolute howlers made. Like,
Need for Speed
wasn't bad. No. I liked Need for Speed, but it's nothing to do with the games.
I don't think that they needed to really make a movie about it.
They did need. Do you know why they didn't need to make a movie? Because there's already been like 6 or 7 of them made, and they're called Fast and Furious.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like Mario Brothers film that was made, which was horrific.
Right, yeah.
There's just so many of them. Like,
I don't know. Just in my mind, I feel like if you're not going to do what you said earlier and basically be like, if you're not going to pull a Ratchet and Clank and be like, no, we're going to throw the game into the film, or if you're not going to copy the game play for play, I feel like it needs to at least have some sort of semblance to the universe.
It
has to be.
Well, that all comes down to
another perspective.
As we would have learned about it, and I'm sorry to get technical with it, but that's your mise en scène of the movie. Okay, so it comes down to your costume, your wardrobe, your setting, your colors, your lighting, everything, and like that all falls.
That's funny because like a lot of these movies these days are getting back to being like truer to that. Do you remember whenever like X-Men came out and everyone was wearing black leather? And it's like the X-Men characters don't look like that. They're all different colors and all different costumes and stuff. But it's like for the screen they have to like tone it down so it's a little bit more, people can enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Like a wider audience, I suppose. For games they were doing that as well. Like Resident Evil wasn't very.
Resident Evil just looked
bland.
Resident Evil was very bland. Now Resident Evil is a very kind of. If I think of Resident Evil, I think immediately dark, kind of brown, dreary. Kind of. I don't even know how to put it. That kind of palette, the grays, the browns, the blacks, the darks. And then this Resident Evil was kind of like pale blue.
Yeah. Action
it was
hero
weird,
stuff. Like.
I think they need to get, they really need to look at that.
I think these days, like, especially after films like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is just like beautiful colors.
Over colors.
Yeah, I think they're going to get
I didn't even
better.
Know existed. The Galaxy.
I think making films that are going to be like a bit more open to using these kind of like unique color palettes and stuff for games. Actually, and the Justice League trailer has recently dropped is like just fucking unbelievably colorful.
Same with the Thor trailer.
Same with Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's kind of going back to that kind of like 70s retro-y kind of vibe.
Getting back to that, and I think that'll help video game films. Hopefully. It probably won't actually. I mean, it's now there that the people can use it, so they're probably just
if you could pick a video game that you would like to see, like if it was tell me a video game you'd like to see into a movie, and tell me a video game you'd like to see in a movie and how it's going to be done well.
I know what Sinkers is.
I know what Sinker is as well.
But
I want to see if you two are right.
Okay. Is it Uncharted?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could just see your eyes lit up as soon as he said that. He was like, I have one.
Like a kid in a candy store. Like.
That is a perfect example. Yeah. Because it basically is a film.
No, that's it, right? And I know obviously they are talking about doing the Uncharted film, and like I would be first in line for this film.
Yeah. I'd be there too.
Everyone that knows me knows I'm the biggest fucking Uncharted fanboy on the planet. But that also makes me terrified. Because of it being a video game movie, I'm just kind of like, I really, really hope that they can do something with it and make it work, because I would love nothing more than to go to the Uncharted film and be like, that was on par with the games for me.
And wouldn't you hate if like you came out of that and was getting such negative
I fucking riot.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the same way. I know it's a wee bit off topic. That's the way I felt about Crash Bandicoot coming back. That was my exact thought, because being such a big fan of the series, they're taking this and they're doing something entirely different with it. I didn't want to feel.
You didn't want that.
Like. But yeah, how would you do the movie? Is it have you got anybody lined up? You think cast? Are we going to go fast paced? Are we going to go action? Are we going to go story? Are we going to be very story based?
Is it not like pretty like far into like the early stages of production now? This is happening basically.
You know what I would like? I would just like it. I would like near enough the exact same tone as the games. I would like it action-y, but I would like a bit of story thrown in. I would also. They need to keep the humor.
The humor is a big thing for Uncharted.
Like, do you know what I always thought?
They decide to go Uncharted. Either full on like Nathan Drake is a clown, or Nathan Drake is this dark, brooding fucking Spider-Man for emo fuck. They have to keep the sarcastic bullshit humor.
Yeah, and sarcastic wit.
Exactly. Like who would play it? Like God knows. I can't think of anyone that would come to mind.
Is it Nolan North or Troy Baker voices?
Nolan North.
Just get Nolan North to play it.
Get Nolan North in there. That's what I'm saying. I'm a fan for Nolan North being in anything. I fucking love him.
Do you know who would have been good, but before he got too old? That guy from oh man, I forget.
Nathan Fillion would have been.
Nathan Fillion, yeah. I was supposed to say the guy from Firefly, yeah.
Nathan Fillion would have been
perfect for it, but I think he's beyond it now, isn't he?
Probably, yeah.
The game I would like to see made into a film, and it was very nearly made into a film, and it's probably one of the worst tragedies ever that didn't actually get made. Halo, with Peter Jackson. Yeah. Imagine, or Neil Blomkamp or whatever his name. I can't pronounce his surname.
Neil Blomkamp.
Blomkamp, yeah. If them two had got together to produce a Halo film,
wasn't Jerry Bruckheimer? Wasn't he? Was he something to do with that as well? No,
I don't know. He's like a production guy. So
was he not like producing it or something?
There and there, but I'm not really sure.
Did he produce didn't they do a series? He didn't produce that, no?
The series really, really let me down. Well, it didn't really let me down. Parts of it were good, but like, by that stage, Halo had passed Halo 3, and it was like Halo 4 was coming.
Yeah.
And now they were like sort of focused on like Master Chief as a demigod, basically. Like, and he was like, they threw him into it, and he was like, fucking Master Chief, here to save the day. And I didn't like that.
No.
Because in the games, he's just doing what he needs to get done.
He's just a real calm, collected person.
Yeah, he's just there doing his business, and you feel like obviously he's a badass, but he's not going I'm a badass.
Yeah,
he's just gotta go do this now. And I thought I really would have loved to see that film.
That would have been good, yeah.
And I don't think it should happen now, because what's happening with Halo now is too far gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just
would have been perfect to come out shortly after 3, when 3 was in its biggest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you think about when 3 came out. Like, you look at some of these films now and the effects that they're using. Imagine how good a Halo film would look now.
Yeah.
But, see, I'm almost... Right. It's kind of like...
If they took Halo 3 and just made it a film, like we said, literally take it and recreate it more or less scene for scene, but obviously, it's a film, so there's a lot more to play with that.
What do you call it?
That would be...
I actually think, right, I think this is sort of like the Jurassic Park effect. Like, do you remember Jurassic Park came out, 15, 20 years ago now?
Oh, yeah, more. Easy, yeah.
Like the effects in it are still passable today, right?
Yeah.
Yet there's CGI films that were made 5 years ago that look completely fake.
Yeah.
I think it would almost have been better 10 years ago. Like, sort of, I'm thinking Lord of the Rings here because it looks so good for such an old film, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
But they had to put so much effort into getting it looking right. Whereas now it's kind of like, we'll use CGI for that. And it's used as a crutch, and then the CGI comes out and it doesn't look as good because they didn't put the work in when they were filming, real life.
Yeah.
So I kind of would, I'd love to see one today with the quality we have today. Like what Blade Runner did with special effects was fantastic.
Oh, it's out of
but
this
like
world.
the kind of special effects that I seen in like Suicide Squad and like the Batman vs Superman film, which is just kind of like over the top and not really believable.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to see that.
I have two choices for mine, and obviously I think you know one of them. Obviously, I'd love to see some kind of adaptation of Gears of War.
Yeah.
Now, I believe it was in
again. No, it's
some
like
kind of, or still is.
There's still chatter. Whenever 4 came out, or shortly before Gears of War 4 came out, there was chatter about we're getting the film getting going here.
Now, I would love to see that. And I said to you the other night after seeing Dave Bautista at the start of Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like, we seen him in Guardians, and he was like this kind of like comedic kind of guy. And
but he held it, like he did well.
He was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then you see him as this real serious, rough, tough guy in Blade Runner, and I was just like, that is Marcus.
That could be Marcus.
Now, I don't want to see an entire film about Marcus. Absolutely not. I probably wouldn't want to see Delta at all. I would like them to go with something completely different.
Yeah, set in the universe.
Set in the universe, but I'd like them to reference Delta a couple of times in the movie, or they show up or something. Even just a cameo, like Delta walk by. I'd lose my shit.
That'd be pretty sick. I think it'd be good if like you could have some sort of characters in a supporting role to something Delta was doing in the games.
Yeah,
and then at the end of the film, you can just tie that in with what actually happened in the game, so you kind of get a new story along with one we're already familiar with.
The only other one I think I'd love to see would be The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But that is because The Last of Us already has film quality story and script and everything. And especially if you take the Ellie chapter by herself?
Left Alone.
If you take that and throw that into the movie as well, oh my god. It already has the quality there. It has the writing. Honestly. You just need to find two actors.
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page is like 30 though.
Yeah, still Ellen Page.
Yeah.
And have any of you watched American Horror Story?
Oh yes, yeah.
I know the guy
from Series 1 who basically just fucking looks like Joel.
Yeah.
I like that guy though.
I cannot remember.
I don't like that guy.
Do you know?
I don't think he's a great actor. I don't know. Maybe he is. Maybe he's fine. But
it's someone like that there that could come along. Like you need like a kid actor who like kind of a sleeper hit if you like.
Yeah.
Come along. I don't think you can't take people well known for this.
It's kind of like what It did.
Yeah, exactly.
Them kid actors were terrific. Like,
and then just bang! Oh my god, that film will be. I would love to see just a play-by-play of the actual story.
Yeah, that's all.
Perfect.
Could be. I think at this point,
nothing more, nothing less.
Well, yeah. If you're gonna include, if it was gonna be Joel and Ellie, like it would have to be.
You could do the story in between 1 and 2. What's going to happen?
True, but it wouldn't resonate nearly as much as what would happen.
No, it wouldn't. But there's where they have the free reins with it as well.
Well, that's it. But then it's almost like you'd have to keep reconcile it with the end of 1 and the start of 2. Like I think they'd be kind of constricted by that as well.
Whereas if you were gonna basically say we do what you said with the Gears of War, have it be other people, and then you can have Joel and Ellie. Set between 1 and 2. They just kind of run by, and there's like, hey, Joel and Ellie.
Yeah, like they decided to get out and head somewhere, and like it's kind of known of their story, like that kind of way. Like that'd be kind of cool.
I think I'd be satisfied if it wasn't about them at this point. Although if they could do something as dramatically impactful as what happened, the story with Joel and Ellie with other characters, then I mean I'm sure they can.
Can you imagine the opening scene of The Last of Us with Joel and Sarah? Can you imagine that in a film, in a movie? Like the first 5 minutes of your movie, like you're just tucking into your popcorn, and next thing you get this punch in the gut like that. I would happily sit down in the theater and just watch someone play that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watch someone play like a run through that game. That would be exceptional. But I would love to see it for the fact that like some of the work done with obviously in the Bourne movies with the fighting style.
Oh yes.
Can you imagine that with
man, fighting in films these days has gotten so good.
Yeah.
Like every film now has like I remember reading this recently where like it's you almost can't appreciate good fighting now because every film has it.
Yeah.
They've really doubled down on it. I still think
though Bourne is up there as some of the highest standards of fighting and choreographed fight I've ever seen in films.
That's actually kind of brings us on nicely. So I would love to see someday like a Bourne game. Or a good Bourne game. I know there is one that I don't think it's based on.
What was that game? Yeah, is
Jason Bourne.
What was that game that came out in 360? It's called. It was it's not
It
Quantum.
was something.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. Oh, that was an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Quantum
Was it
Break.
not one
Yeah.
360? What was the
No.
one 360? It's called something. It's something like that. There it was like this agent as well.
Quantum of Solace. No.
No, it was a
That James
shitty
Bond?
James Bond movie that we don't want
But,
to talk about.
that kind of brings us on though to like the other aspect of this, games based on films.
Yes.
Yeah. I would like a really good James Bond. Game.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
another one.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But if we had it like one now in this,
Yeah,
day and age,
yeah,
that'd
in this
be-
day and
that'd
age,
be
like,
incredible.
We need one.
Golden Eye remake.
There is a remake for Wii.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I think it's kind of different from generally speaking, you get bad films based on games, but you do get the occasional good game based on a film.
Yeah.
Like a properly good game. The first one comes to my head is Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Oh yeah, right enough. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 was exceptional.
Yeah.
Except the gaming has the exact opposite of what films have to do. Whereas, like I was saying earlier, films have to kind of downgrade, like 6
Yeah.
hours worth into two. You're looking at this is a 2 hour long movie.
have
We've
to-
spread this.
Yeah.
We can do
out.
whatever we want.
Like,
with it,
Spider-Man wasn't fucking Magneto.
All kinds of characters in it.
Which
Magneto was in it, and
Rhino
was in it.
It was like, what the fuck? Like, okay,
Yeah.
but
They could
great
do
game,
that.
though.
Yeah. It's like,
Absolutely
as like
great
Chris
game.
said there, you actually have room to breathe. You can do more with it.
You can do, yeah.
It's not always necessarily a good thing because some people just try and stretch that storyline as thin as they can.
Sorry, just getting back. I thought of another thing I'd like to see. I would like to see a film set in Rapture from BioShock.
Oh
Yes.
yes, they are very cinematic games too.
there you
They
go.
would translate well.
I'd like. I don't know how they would do it because the games are already cinematic as they are.
Exactly.
Literally, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
like-
that would be a tough one to
That's what
adapt.
because you're gonna have to fit so
Yeah.
much into the.
Like the
if they
games
do
for
it
me
and they
couldn't
do
fit
it
in
good,
enough.
I would
know,
be
yeah.
thoroughly impressed.
Yeah.
There isn't
really
one of
would.
those games that have like a half-hour
Yeah.
cutscene.
Oh yeah, no,
That's what I mean.
normal.
Like the game itself didn't have enough time to like condense all the information.
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
like so,
Oh.
they'd never get into a film. It would be so difficult to do.
I would love to see them if they managed to do it well, though.
Yeah,
I don't know
it
how
would
the
be.
hell they
I'd
would,
say it
but
would
I'd
be an
love to see
exceptional
it.
film.
No, getting back to that, games from films.
Yeah.
Um,
There have been some good ones like
Warriors was okay.
Warriors?
The Warriors video game made by Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. That's the problem. A lot of these video game, video games, I guess, are okay. Like
Yeah.
they're not. They're like they're games that I would play that, but I wouldn't be like, oh man, like this is my fucking game of the year. Like Spider-Man 2 was incredible.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say like it's like one of my top games of all time. Like the Warriors was a decent game, but like I wouldn't say it's on top of my list. That's kind of the problem I found with them. Like movie tie-in games are, if they're
only
good,
cheap. Like
they're okay.
Yeah.
I thought of
Yeah.
another one. I
Yeah.
liked Lord of the Rings,
Oh, yeah.
The Fellowship. I think.
What games?
Yeah.
were good? The second one, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King, especially because that was the one that you could do like the co-op all like on one screen.
Uh-huh,
You guys Gandalf at the start of it. It starts at like Battle of Helm's Deep, and you're in fucking.
Those
waving
are
your
fun
staff about.
games. Like I enjoyed
The one
those
we
games.
I don't know why they did that. They just started the Two Towers game that me and you would have played.
Was it like it
It-
was 1 and 2 films? wasn't
Yeah,
it?
you play. You start in like the first Lord of the Rings film, if you like. They were incredible.
Matrix games. There's a couple of good Matrix games as
I
well.
have one of them, and I haven't played it.
I played Path of Neo, which wasn't a great
I
one,
think that's the one I have. I got
Yeah.
it from you.
but there was PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they were pretty good games too. There's some howlers as well though in that
Oh,
respect.
absolutely.
E.T. the most
The game that
the
was
worst game
buried
of
in
all
the
time.
desert.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
the
really.
game that possibly bankrupted Atari. We're not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we're pretty sure.
Like that's
Iron Man.
Iron Man, a game. I'd never even played it.
Yeah.
Awful.
Brutal.
Awful.
Wasn't
awful.
there a Deadpool game though that did pretty well?
That was excellent.
It was a
But that had
good game.
nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah,
it was
that
before
was
the movie,
Yeah,
excellent.
okay.
yeah.
Another one I would love to see turned into a movie. Actually, go completely Infamous.
Oh,
Infamous.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, Sucker Punch.
Listen up, sucker punch.
Listen up. Give me a fucking sequel to Infamous.
You better have some words.
Every podcast I'm on, I'm going to reference Infamous until I get a fucking
Every podcast you're
sorry.
on.
Every podcast, minisode, video, anything I'm on, I'm going to talk about Infamous until I get my fucking sequel.
He's flying out to another podcast
Yeah.
now for 4 hours. He's going to mention it there too.
He's got 6 this week.
um,
You'll
oh,
get it.
yeah,
You'll get your
okay.
sequel.
You'll get your sequel.
Fucking better get my sequel.
I was trying to think there, like of like the most recent films I've seen, and like would they make good movies? I guess you could take It, right? Like hear me
It's a
out. here.
game.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take It, okay? Now you could take It, and you could kind of do like a PUBG meets
Survive.
meets what was that game? Friday the 13th element to it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you got like a clown or maybe several clowns.
Yes.
And you pretty much you got to survive the clown.
That's pretty
Well,
cool.
the thing is that the Friday the 13th formula would work with literally any serial killer.
Yeah.
Like if I were to turn around and be like, oh, that's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
If it followed the exact same, if you just reskinned it, it would work.
Yeah.
You know, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
All of these,
anytime there's a single
games.
killer, Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween.
All of them.
The good thing with it though is like because like it is obviously like a shapeshifter. Like
yes.
Oh yeah,
that
would actually
there with like like
you wouldn't be sure if that's it or not.
If that's it or not exactly. Yeah, you could just be in a world full of these like horrible things, and you could just be like, no, it's not it. Oh, but it is it. Is it it?
Is it?
I don't know.
It's it. It's it. Is it?
It.
Stop saying it.
Yeah.
It actually, just when you say that, I would love to see a Blade Runner game.
Really?
The atmosphere in that film is unbelievable.
I think it'd be hard to transfer that atmosphere to game, though.
I think because have you played Deus Ex, Sinker? Have you played it?
I've played bits of it. Yeah.
It's kind of like that, kind of dystopian future, but it's not nearly there, right? But if you could just build on that and make it bleaker, make it grimmer, and make it just like a little bit more like in depth in story, you could have a very, very, very good game. Blade Runner just looked visually gorgeous, and I would just love to like explore that world rather than see like set parts of it. But I think on the whole, they're both bad, aren't they? It's like a film based on a game is more than likely going to be bad, and a game based on a film is more than likely going to be bad.
There are some little gems.
There's exceptions,
of course, yes, there's exceptions, but like as you say, as a whole, it's definitely something that needs to be worked on.
Yes,
incredibly. And
games
fast.
are just a bit safer. Like games based on films are just a bit safer.
The Amazing Spider-Man games
weren't great,
but they weren't bad games either.
And then The Godfather was another one of those.
It was a good game.
They were good, but at the same time, we're saying they're good, but would we say they're better than GTA?
No.
Would we say they're better than Just Cause?
But see, the thing is, it's like they do offer something different. Like it's not like it's just GTA, but set in the 1930s.
Yeah.
It does offer something slightly different, like And some people might go like, "Yeah, it is better because I get to do X, Y, Z."
It was a Rocky game. That was awesome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Rocky was fucking
Harry
terrific.
Potter.
It has its hits and its misses.
That's actually a good shout because those Harry Potter games are fucking unreal.
Yeah,
really.
I love them.
I've only played a couple of them. Yeah,
like about 2 months ago. Again,
there you have it.
Sorcerer's Stone. If you're listening to us in the States,
me.
Oh, yeah, you. Sorry.
But yeah, it held up pretty well, bar the fucking flying.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Fucking hoops appearing everywhere. We got and it's all inverted too, and it's all over.
I
hate
that.
Nightmare,
Hate inverted sticks, but but yeah, there are those rare exceptions, like, and I just want to see it work sometime, like.
But Harry Potter actually lends itself to a game, because you think about it, like. Harry Potter the games are really good in that respect because they're just like, you're in Hogwarts, go.
Yeah.
True.
Just go and enjoy. You can go there if you want to go to a bit of story, but fuck it.
Was there ever a Harry Potter game where Hogwarts was completely open and you could kind
of
just go and do what you want? Wasn't like one of like the later games?
Yes, it was the one I think Goblet of Fire might have been.
Like a modern day, like I mean, like this generation of console.
Oh,
a Harry Potter game. Like
that would be pretty
kind of maybe happens after, like you don't play as Harry. Like again, like you just play as someone new coming to school.
World, like.
That's completely open.
Yeah,
and like maybe like you go to like this area and. The forces that lie there are like you're not strong enough to like get past them yet, so you got to go and level.
Yeah,
up.
You just like your standard sort of open world sort of game. Yeah. Do you notice when you say Harry Potter like that, and you're talking about like just open or explore anywhere in the world? It reminded me, for whatever reason, of South Park.
Oh yeah,
because those games are like that. You kind of can just wander about
just
South Park.
Yeah.
And
that'd be really cool because you think like imagine the beginnings, like you get sorted into your house. And you can kind of take
your class.
Like, it would have to be one of those things that, like,
I think like you should be made to answer a load of questions at the start.
They did that in
race kind of thing.
Yeah, which like that would be cool. But at the same time, as far as I haven't played the South Park game fully, but as far as I know, South Park it's short-ish.
It's short. Yeah.
So I think like if you're going to do a Harry Potter game, it'd have to be like it couldn't be like a fucking Skyrim.
No.
It would have to be like a nice little
I think more
condensed...
like
Shadow of
Mordor.
With 16 hours.
16 hours, yeah.
16, 20
But
hours.
It doesn't end. You can keep going.
You can continue to explore.
Yeah,
and
you can keep sort of.
That could be a very fun game. Actually, I would play it.
I would definitely play it. Yeah.
Most of pretty much all of the Lego games as well.
Yeah, they were the ones I was
Yeah,
thinking of.
incredibly
Lego
well.
Star Wars, like Harry Potter,
Yeah.
Harry Potter, Jurassic World,
Jurassic, yeah. You know,
Batman,
like,
Lord of the Rings, you name it. They're all
they've hit so many. Like,
awesome games. Like, yeah.
No, the Lego games are always like they're just really, really good
I thought of
quality.
another
Really
one there as
consistent.
The
well.
last one, Lego Force Awakens, that was really fun.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. I actually can't think. Mine's
Yeah.
not blank.
I just
had
remember-
another awesome one. I forgot.
another awesome game.
Yeah.
The earlier Star Wars games are kind of fun.
Oh, there's so many good Star Wars games, like
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic, the original Battlefront.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then like even the ones that are based on games like the Phantom Menace game. I played the shit out of the Phantom
Yeah.
Menace.
Yeah.
Movie's not great,
Yeah.
but I played the shit out of the game because the game was fun. And like there was a pod racing game as well, which again, fuck pod racing, but that was fun.
Yeah.
Now we have quite possibly like the best of the series coming this year as well.
We'll have to say. I
Star
don't,
Wars?
I don't think it-
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, I never played the original Battlefront. Not the original, the one that came out
the one
last year.
It was
Yeah.
okay.
Are they going to be doing one every year now? Is that what the crack
No,
is?
I
or-
think they're gonna like probably try and keep it to like once every like 2-3 years.
Okay.
Kind of like the Battlefield series.
Yeah.
Kind of just maybe they might just alternate those two.
They probably will, actually.
Battlefield
Yeah.
and Battlefront, vice versa, every year.
That'd be pretty good, actually. Although I
up
don't
for
want
that.
it to be too polluted, like, with them.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Star Wars. There's not exactly any like too much you can go with it.
But there is so
there is, but
of
like-
these, what do you call them now? They took all of the, like, sort of, all of the lore and call it, like, legends, I think it's called.
yeah.
So you could, like, dip into that, but, like, none of it would be canon.
Yeah.
But
Cannon
but
fodder.
apparently they're saying the new one is canon, aren't they?
The new Battlefront.
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true.
It's
or
because
not, but-
Disney have basically just wiped the slate with it, so, like, they can just decide, like, oh yeah, that's canon now.
but that's not.
Toy Story was an
Yeah.
awesome game back in the day.
Toy Story was an awesome
It
game.
was a fucking fantastic game
Oh,
trying to get out of
man.
the house.
See, there are plenty of good video games.
But that's my issue with it, is that
Sometimes.
there's plenty of good ones, but would we say that any of those games are better than games we would normally play?
I
Like,
mean,
than
not
games
better,
that are
but I-
standalone games.
Yeah,
kinda
like if you think like a game, like we can sit there and say like Spider-Man was good, Rugrats was good, Godfather was good, but would we say
they're as good as
they're-
Red Dead.
they are as
The
good
Last
as
of
any
Us,
of the games we
Uncharted.
I would definitely say they're on the same tier, like,
See, I don't know
Some
if,
of
I, if
them.
I would.
because, like, I mean, I would say you're saying like you're comparing them like Red Dead and GTA 5 and stuff, like, and I'm like the games I'm playing now aren't as good as Red Dead and GTA 5, but they're good
Fair point,
games.
fair
you know
point.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
At the same time, I would say the Godfather is better than fucking Grand Theft Auto 4.
really,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
really
no,
like
fuck that game.
Grand Theft Auto.
I agree
No,
with
I
that.
hated it.
I'm just not
Yeah.
a fan of.
See, this is the thing,
Yeah.
No, actually, that's a fair point.
And I would put them definitely on the tier of sort of games you play on, standard games you'd play, like, yeah. And some of them are better, and a lot of them are worse
Yeah.
than that.
That just seems to be the way it is. Games
It's kind of
games are a bit of a minefield when it comes to being based on films, but it does seem to be that because like the essence of a video game is to have fun.
yeah.
And I think that it can be a bit easier to just be like, hey, just have fun in this world.
Yeah.
I have
Whereas
one
if you
more.
can say make a film on it, you're kind of like, well, us nerds are going to be like, you better fucking
Yeah.
do this right.
Yeah. And
Wait.
other people are going to want to go in there and try and enjoy a film for what it is
Would
as
you
well.
say you got one more?
I got one more, just Lord of the Rings, The Shadow of Mordor War series, because they have just done that. They've just went, yeah, Lord of the Rings. It looks very like the film version of the Lord of the Rings, even Gollum's in
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor, and it's like, it's nothing to do with it at all. It's a completely different
They're
story.
just not allowed to title
Just
it
the
Lord of the
same-
Rings, aren't they? Not because of licensing or something.
Something like that. I think they're
Yeah.
very protective of that
That's
like
very-
franchise. But it's that world. It's just based in there, and it's a completely different story. And I don't think it's canon or nothing. They're just having fun. And I don't know if you call it a game based on a film or because it technically is a book. But like
Well, that's it. Like, those are our thoughts and opinions.
that's it. Yeah.
And if you have any thoughts and opinions, let us
Keep them
know.
to yourself because we
Keep
don't
to
care.
Yourself. Good night, assholes. No, get in touch with us. Let us know.
Yeah.
Do games make good movies? Do movies make good games?
Yeah.
We'd like to hear from you. Some of your favorites, some of your absolute horrendous
Worsts.
experiences. And that's all from us on this mini-sode. Join us for the regular podcast later in the week, and we will see you then. Good night.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.